Hello, name's Frank. How's it going? This is a video that I felt to put together both to help with the new release of Unreal Engine 5 and a number of questions I saw on open worlds. And I've been kind of playing with that since early access in Unreal 5. I'm not an expert by any means, but I thought it'd be good to, I can both capture what I do know so I can remember it later, and then also to hopefully help some of you guys. So here's Unreal Engine 5, third-person template open just for to have a character and move. This is just the default. I'm going to risk it and just push play here. Oh, they got a nice new mannequin. That's pretty sweet. So that's pretty nice. So we'll leave that. But since we're looking at the landscape module, what we want to do is get a piece of data. So I'm going to switch over to OpenTopography, and getting pretty new to a lot of this, so bear with me a little bit. This was a project that didn't work well. Let me go back to here. So this is your OpenTopography.org. We'll find a data map. They're pretty much anything in the States, which is good. There's a lot of variety of landscape in the States, so that's good. So let's just zoom in and find something that's got a good bit of variety in it. Let's see here. How about something? How about Yellowstone Lake? That looks pretty good. So let's grab that. Let's grab this as our map. And what I've been using is just this 1/3 arc-second digital elevation model. This is pretty much available for everywhere in the States, because some of these data sets are not everywhere. But this one I think is basically complete across the entire country of entire United States. So this is 2,100 square kilometers. That's a pretty sizable map. You can make them much bigger, but that seems like a good one to start with. We're going to pick a geotiff, and we don't need any of this additional information. We'll just give it a job title, and we'll call it, well, it was Yellowstone, right? So let's call it Yellowstone Lake. So we'll call it Yellowstone Lake, and give it a job description for creating landscape tutorial. And I'll blur in my email address in here when I know how to do that, and I'll submit. Now, this service takes a few minutes. Like they tell you, it can take a fair bit of time, obviously, if you're the larger the job that you're taking. So I'm going to pause the video here while this completes. It's completed. I think it only took it took right there 51 seconds. So I guess I probably could have just babbled on while you were watching. So we're going to download that. Here it comes. Files can get pretty big. I was working on one, and it was like, I don't know, 600 meg or something like that. So, and it's all free, which is fantastic for us. I'll call myself a creator, even though I haven't created anything yet. As this is downloading, once we get it downloaded a little bit more, we'll be going into a command prompt to get our file decompressed. A little bit something that I learned there was all these tar files always I didn't understand them. I know they were kind of Linux based or something. But I found out during this whole process that that is actually all just in Windows as well, which was a nice thing to discover. Okay, so once that's downloaded, I'm just going to actually just go into the folder, and just maybe I went there too quick because it's still not quite there. Show in folder. There it is there. I just had recently done a different one. This one was small. I'm just going to get rid of it just not to confuse us. And this one I'm just going to rename. Oh, hopefully that doesn't break anything. Rename that. And then, yeah, so then we're going to go into this. Oh, of course, you didn't see any of that. Let me. I'll go into my Windows capture here. So there's the download directory. There's the file. We'll bring up the command prompt, which is just Windows key CMD. This is where we can type in tar xf rasters underscore and then the file name rasters underscore usgs10m tar gz. So that's actually the same file name as the previous one, so that worked well for me here. Give that a click, and then it unpacks it into this TIFF, which is not a normal TIFF. It's a GeoTIFF, and that's where TerraSculptor works well because it understands those. And if there's other people that know more about that, then good. And so we'll just flip to TerraSculptor here. Oh, it's up on my screen. That's perfect. And now we'll just go to File, Import Terrain. And I'm going to go to my download directory. And I'm going to select the GeoTIFF. And there's our file there. And I'm going to open that and say OK. And we zoom out. And there's our world. Looks like it's going to be, looks actually going to be awesome. So yeah, we can zoom around. You can probably do a lot of selections and sizes so that you get a perfect map of everything, but one thing that I like just to do to get a good sense of what's there, you can throw a color set on it, just so that you can see some of the elevation differences and stuff like that. Sometimes a little bit easier to see than the grayscale. Obviously, this is a big lake in the middle, but it's there's obviously some different interpretations from this, but we'll fix all that once we get into Unreal. So from here, we can see it's a 6971 by 4058 data map. Okay, so that's a pretty good size data file. And what we want to be able to do is when we bring it into Unreal, we want to bring it in the proper data chunk size. And here they've got these landscape sizes. And what you can do is, you want to select ones that are that will actually fit your kind of your grid the best, right? So let's go 1009 by 1009, and let's see how that tiles out. So we go from here, we go to Create, Tile Creator. We'll fetch it from the source here. We'll go by tile size, and we're going to go 1009 by 1009. Okay, so that's pretty good. We just lost a little bit just because of the selection, but let's pretend this continues on. And this is where, if you pre-computed your size, you could probably adjust the other one to be a little bit bigger so you have some to trim off in the future or ignore. Yeah, and then we want to have a naming convention prefix or a suffix like this, so that when it's in Unreal Engine, it will read the first one and then it'll read all of the other tiles automatically. And so we'll pick that, and then we will place that somewhere. I'm not going to put it in my C drive. I'll put it in here under tutorials, and oh yeah, and I'll give it a file name of Yellowstone. And file type, we want PNG. And we'll save it. Okay. And then, and if I just, if I browse to that location, I'll pull this over here. There's some videos that are recording. And then here's all our tile maps, right? So maybe what I'll do is I'll make a new folder here. Probably should have done this before, and call it tiles. And then I will grab all of these and stuff them in there. And with that, we'll move on to the next step. So we can close this. You can save this if you want, but you always have that data file to reopen it from that anyway. So we're good to go from there. And we're done with the command prompt, and we don't need OpenTopography anymore. And we are on to Unreal. So let me just switch to that to be your main screen.